Hello, so as you'll have seen from the last few videos, the track is pretty much complete. So the big question now is what next? The first big thing is going to be the tunnel that we're going to put into the cutting. But that's going to have to wait until things have dried out, so we're probably looking sort of May time. What with April showers, etc. So I would expect that's going to be more that sort of timing. So whilst it's cold and dark, we're going to come indoors and we're going to start to work on all the rolling stock. There's 3 trains that we're looking to have. The first one is the one that you'll have seen working on the Christmas video. So that is Ian. That's got its 2 carriages. They need a little bit of a tidy up, a spruce up, a repaint. The footboards need sorting out, but we've now got its little brake carriage. So that's pretty much there. It just needs tarting up. Ian himself needs a good overhaul. It's absolute credit to the quality of its build that it has managed through everything with almost no overhauls, looking after maintenance, etc. It just turns up and works every single time. So God bless it for all it does there. Next train is going to be a works train, and we're definitely going to need that in place for when we do the tunnel. The tunnel's going to be built quite a distance from anywhere that has power or anything like that, so we really need something that can be a bit of a mobile workshop and that will allow us going forward to do maintenance throughout winters and summers, enable us to take gardening equipment around, just be a very much ubiquitous train that can go anywhere. And I also don't want Ian being sort of bashed around. It's like I say, it's worked its heart out, moving all the ballast and everything, and some of the paint's a bit worse for wear as a result. So I really want that kept for passenger duties. Now, actually, the first ever train I bought was a hefty from Phoenix Locomotives. That has remained still in its kit form, packed away, never built, just never had the time. And so that's basically the loco that will operate that train. And that's going to be one of the first things we're going to do is put that together. The final train, as I'm sure you probably guessed, is going to be Nigel, the steam engine. That's still away being overhauled, new boiler, etc. So that's a lot of work still being done on that, and we'll wait for that return. 2 carriages are going to be needed there. We've already got 1 carriage, which is the Ride on Railways carriage. As you know, that was involved, that basically the derailment of that carriage and subsequent sort of damage created to it was the moment that led to the full rebuild of the track. So that's still in its state that it was left in when it originally had all that accident. Once we've got all that sorted, like I say, we will need to either build or source a second carriage. That will then all be vacuum braked, so we won't need a guards van as such on that. And yeah, we'll just get that all put together. And then we will have the 3 trains, and I think that'll pretty much be it, apart from visiting locos or trains or anyone that wants to visit. Those will be the 3 resident trains, and hopefully we'll be able to look after that. I think the only thing thereafter something that would be nice, but would be a very much a distant requirement, would be some form of slate train. Is something I've always wanted to do, gravity-based train, just because we have built it perfectly for such a thing. So it will be able to be hauled up to the top, and it's a fairly gentle but decent enough slope that could run all the way round. But yeah, that's hardly a requirement, and just something in the future we might look to try and do. Now, there was one thing we were able to get sorted just between Christmas and New Year, and that is the loco shed here for the steam engine. It has a door and everything is now back together. So what we have done, doors were central, now they're over to one side, and that has meant that it's centered on that road. That means that the steam engine can now fit through the door. It didn't previously. It will mean that we have to sacrifice this road, so we'll remove the rail and concrete in on that side, so that will make a nice big space to one side to put everything that we need for preparing the loco. And then we obviously, this point here had been removed to go and be used on the loading bay, and therefore we'll just put a straight in there and that will do the job. So yeah, that's at least one thing just sorted out.